Don't really need... Oh, look at that. It's going on 2 lines. See, that's what happens when you build on the grid, people. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, guys? This is KJ48, and welcome back to my Let's Play for Satisfactory. Alright, guys, it is Friday. I am allowed to stream this game. Started putting up videos today. I decided I wanted to record while streaming, so I will be recording this live on Twitch, and it will be going on YouTube. I did turn off all the bells and whistles, just got a couple bars up there and my face cam. So let's get started here. First things first, before I started the video, I streamed... How long have I been streaming for? God, I've been streaming for an hour, okay? And I didn't like these belts because I thought they were all kind of like, you know, just unorganized and ugly. And I think they look a lot better like that. Still not perfect, but I do like the way they look a lot better now. Like, also, use ramps, guys. Learn from me and use ramps. What you want to do is you want to put one of these conveyor poles at the bottom of the ramp, and then you put one at the top of the ramp. If you do that with all your conveyor belts, they'll all line up really nicely. I also figured out some things about turns here. I'm not 100% on turns. Usually, you kind of like, if you have one of these conveyor poles down, you go 2 to the side, 2 up, and 2 to the side, and usually that'll make a nice turn. And I think all the turns look pretty good. And I think what we're going to do now is we're going to get this stone coming in because I do need a lot more concrete. So we got some stone coming in. So I think what I'm going to do is I've come to the conclusion, and this is a brand new game, so I don't know if I've got this right, but I've come to the conclusion that miners MK1 are good for half a conveyor belt. And what I mean by that is I have a miner MK1 right now putting out stone. And you see how the stone's every other block, right? And you see how the copper right here is every block? The only reason the copper is every block is because it got backed up, just so you guys know. But one MK1 miner is going to put an ore down every other spot. And that's what we like to call inefficient, okay? I think you want to have 2 MK miners for each conveyor belt. Okay. Now you might be saying, well, Cage, you set up 2 sets of conveyor belts for iron and copper going into the main part of your base. That's true. You probably only need 1. The only reason I set up 2 is because I'm leaving it open for future expansion. Okay. So I think you want 2 MK miners down, MK1 miners down for 1 belt. That's kind of my thinking right now. So I just wanted to mention that before we go into any more. Okay, so let's take this out, and we've got this over here. So I think what we want to do is we want to meet that belt up with this one and do a merger thing. I think that's what we want to do here. We don't need the extra. We don't need this because this thing's not getting stone fast enough. You can see right here, it's going 2 to 3 limestone and then making it, and then 2 to 3 limestone. And then waiting. I think the major problem is we're not getting enough limestone in here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to hit F5. We're going to get a, F6, or sorry, 6. And we're going to get a conveyor merger. And we're going to kind of try and put it on here. This is a little tricky because it's on a hill. So that kind of sucks, but I'm going to try and make this work. We'll see. Alright, so you can come right over here. This whole thing can come out. This doesn't even need to be here. There we go. Alright, so we're going to bring you over here. And is that going to work? I don't know. Let's see. Now, this area over here is still going to be a little messy, but that's okay. That's okay. I was actually debating putting down these the platforms every single place in the whole world, but I'm going to try and avoid that if I can. It's expensive. It's not too expensive, but I don't know. I'm going to try not to do that. So when these come out now, you see how there's one every other spot? There should be one every spot at this point. Yep, there you go. And that's going to... Now, these are one every spot because they got backed up. But this MK1 miner is putting 1 every other spot. And the MK miner all the way over there is putting 1 every other spot. You add those together, and even if this wasn't backed up and full, this would still be full. That's the thinking. I don't know if that's the case, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. And now, this is going to have all the limestone it needs. And now the question is, do I put another one of these down? I don't think so. But maybe. This thing's definitely going to get filled up. But it's definitely putting out stuff quicker. I don't know. Maybe we will. Do I want to do that? Can I fit one in here easily? Nah, see, I don't really want to... This isn't... Yeah, nah. We're going to leave that alone. It's going good. The thing is, if one miner was not putting out enough stone to keep this concrete in production, then 2 miners should not be putting out enough to keep 2 constructors in production, if that makes any sense. Maybe I'll add another constructor at some point, but that's okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to take these. All right, so what we're going to do now is we are going to, let's put some stuff away. There we go. Sort. We'll put that away and that away. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take these out. And I don't know what else we're going to need up top. What do we need for, what do we need for smelters? I didn't have to click on it. Oh, okay. Damn it, what are those things called? Iron rods? I always forget. I think they're called iron rods. Yes, cool. Look at me. I remembered. All right, so we're going to take that and that and that. And that should be plenty. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set up the smelters for the copper, basically. So let's get up there and do that. All right, and we're back. Let's come on up here and see what we got going on here. Right now I'm working on the copper part of the setup. One thing that someone did say in Twitch chat that made a lot of sense, but I ultimately went against it just because I like the fact that all the, and it doesn't really matter, but I like the fact that all the ores are coming in on the same line in the same direction. But what he said is, or she, that I should have the copper coming in from this side. Right? I ultimately decided against it just because, again, I like them coming from the same side. Plus, I've already built the infrastructure over here, so it really wouldn't do anything for me. So, all right. So what we're doing now is we are going to go 1, 2, and up 2, and we got to see if this will work. I don't know if that's too low or, yep, it's too low. Okay, I thought it might have been too low. I wasn't sure. All right, so we got to put this right here. We're going over 2, 1, 2, and up 3. There we go. All right, over 2 and up. Nope, number 4 cage. Over 2 and up 3. All right, so if I've done this right, and that's a big if, that should go up to there. That should go to there. And that looks pretty straight to me. Let's double check. I really want my conveyor belts to be as straight as possible. Son of a bee. I really want my conveyor belts to be as straight as possible. One thing someone was asking for, I've seen quite a lot of people ask for this. We need a bird's eye view option. Now, there is a tower you can make, but I'd still love like a real deal bird's eye view option. I think that'd be cool. All right, so this is perfect. Let's go. Oh, that doesn't look right. It looks a little off, doesn't it? Huh. That does look off. Not really sure if it matters, but it's it's as straight as I can make it. Sometimes the way the things I'm putting down work, they don't quite line up the way I really want them to. I don't know. It's just, I guess it's just something I'm gonna have to deal with. Nothing's perfect. Someone was saying this is not the game for you if you have OCD. I don't know if I have OCD. I've never like gone to a doctor and been diagnosed with it, but I've got a real problem with stuff that's not straight. If that's OCD, then maybe I have it. All right, yeah, it's a little not straight, but I don't think there's anything I can do about it because I've tried to. I mean, it's as much as it would let me line it up. Okay, so for the next part for the copper, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one of these bad boys. We're gonna face it this way. This has got, actually, you know what? We got to bring this down first. Do we want to bring it down? Can we have it go from up there and then come down? I don't know. I've never done that before, so maybe we can do that. Let's try it. Let's try it. Just for the lulz. Right, because I don't know how it's going to work. So what about... Now, how many spots over will this be? Oh, boy. What do I use to measure spots over? I guess the item I'm putting down, maybe? I don't know. One... No. How about these? We'll use these to measure. See, look, that doesn't even line up properly with that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... And then this. Then give us 5 spots. I guess like right about there. I don't know. Is this going to work? Let's find out. The snap to placement grid is not quite as gritty as I would like. If that makes sense. Alright, so we do want this one to line up. So it's got to line up with that and that. Now how are we going to line those up? So if I hit down control, it'll line it up with that. And if I go over there, it'll line it up with that. But I can't line them up with both of them. Okay, guys, and with the help of people in Twitch, we figured out a way to make this work. So what I did is I mean, you can't do it. The blue lines, the thing that lines things up, does not go vertically. It only goes horizontally, as far as I can tell. So I put this down. This is lined up with this one, right? Well, that's an output, I guess. So, wait, no, that's not an output. Well, you can only put it in, yeah, that's an output, so you can't put it on there. Well, just trust me, they're lined up. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here, and I'm going to 5, and the input's on the right. So there we go. That should be lined up, hopefully. Not really sure what control does up here, but people tell me not to use control. So, all right, let's just put that down. And let's make sure this is lined up. I don't like the way that went, but that's okay. I'll deal with it. Oh yeah, that's lined up. That is lined up. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I don't like the way that looks though. So I'm going to take this out. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to take this out. And then I'm going to put one of these down. Hopefully that's not too steep of an angle. It might be. Yep. Damn it. Oh boy, I might not be able to fit one of these in. I mean, I guess I don't have to. Oh, there we go. Oh, much better. See? Doesn't it look better? I think that looks better. Okay, so that's the way the copper is going to come in. It's going to come in that way. It's going to go out this way. And then now we need to put... Yep. Now we need to put the smelter down. So the smelter will go right over here, and the smelter should be right next to it. Let's see how far we put in between. I'd really like to be able to somehow measure the distance between one piece of equipment and another, because when I make the mirror side, right now I have this all set up. I've got conveyors, I've got the smelters, I've got the splitters. Everything's good here, and they have a certain amount of space in between them. And I'd like to have a mirror version of the copper. And if there's too much space in between, the difference between the splitter and the smelter with the copper ones, that'll bother me. It really will. So let's see what we can do here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so it looks like we could fit 4 in between. Let's try and remember that. So it looks like we could fit 4 in between. And it looks like it's lined up exactly. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's just for markings, guys. That's not doing nothing. So a smelter. And we want the input over there. And is that where it's supposed to go? Or it's supposed to go there? I think it's supposed to go there. Alright guys, I am back, and I've got some really smart people in Twitch teaching me little things about this game that I did not know. And I'm going to teach them to you guys so you don't make the same mistakes I made. Okay? I'm going to say right off the bat, I think, number 1, you do not want to hold down control. If you're building on a foundation, just don't hold down control. Don't do it. Just don't do it. I'm going to explain to you why. Now, I don't know which is the X and which is the Y axis, so I'm going to call this the south axis and the west axis. Okay, so we have a smelter right here, and we're gonna take a splitter and kind of look at what we got here. Okay, I'm not holding down anything. Okay, and you can see right there, there's the 2 blue lines. Now the 2 blue lines are lining it up with the smelter. Right now, it's also very important to understand I did not hold down control to place the smelter. I placed the smelter without holding down control. Very important. So you can see right there, the blue lines are lining this up with the smelter. And if I go to the right or the left, it breaks the line, like the fact that it's lined up, right? I can go this way, and if I kind of move around, it breaks the fact that it's lined up. Now, if you hold down control, it lines it up, and you can't break the fact that it's lined up. And that's why I like control, because control let me put stuff down a little bit easier. But this is what control does to you to screw you up. Okay? We're looking at the west axis, okay? Remember, west axis here. Now, pay attention. I'm moving along the west axis, and you see how it's like moving very smoothly? That's not good. You don't want that. Basically, what control does is it breaks the grid pattern that is in the world. Okay, if that makes sense. Now, there's a grid pattern in the world. You can't see it. It's a grid. Okay. I don't know if the grid affects you on grass. I don't think it does. But when you're on these platforms, it definitely does. Now, if I let go of control, you see how it snaps? It snaps, snap, snap. It's not moving smoothly anymore. every time it snaps, that's snapping it to the grid. Okay? You want everything you build snapped to the grid. Okay, it's really important. Because if you build something that's off the snapping to the grid, right there it's on the grid. Right there it's off the grid. And if you build that, now you can't snap anything into place with that that's on the grid. Now you have to hold down control to snap stuff into place, which isn't terrible, but the thing is you want to keep stuff off the grid, on the grid. The grid is going to keep things in a box, and it's going to keep things organized, okay? I hope that made sense. It took people on Twitch a long time to explain it to me, but I think I finally got it. Now, the problem is I've built the entire iron setup here off the grid, okay? And that's a mistake. I don't want to tear it down. It's too much work, though. I'm just going to leave it alone. It's pretty much lined up pretty well. I think it looks good. I mean, it's fine. It's just not on the grid. So, what does not being on the grid matter? Well, as you can see right here, let's look at this this conveyor right here. You see the little bar there? How it's like right on the edge of where the silver meets the dark area, right? This is the little bar is in the silver. This conveyor would not line up to this conveyor. It was impossible because this conveyor is off the grid and this conveyor is on the grid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start building my base on the grid all the time. This part will not be on the grid, and I'm just going to have to learn to deal with it. I kind of want the developers to force me to restart at this point because I'm freaking anal with this stuff, but I'm just going to deal with it. Okay, so let's continue building. So what we're going to do here is we're going to make ourselves a smelter, and do not hold down control. Line it up. Now we can count too. So this is being on the grid is so awesome. So now we can count. So remember how I was saying the smelter is a certain amount of room. The smelter is a certain amount of blocks away from the conveyor, and I want the iron setup to mirror with the copper setup. Basically, if my smelters over here are 5 blocks away from the conveyors, then I want my smelters over here to be 5 blocks away from the conveyors. Does it matter? Not if you're sane, but it matters to me. So what being on the grid allows me to do is it allows me to count. I can now see. So right here we're lined up. You can see the blue line says we're lined up. That's the first possible spot we can place this thing. So we can go. What we can do here is we can go 1, 2, 3, place. Now we have a number. We have math, and math is wonderful. It's a wonderful thing, and we should use it because it's freaking awesome. Thank you so much in Twitch, guys, by the way. This means a lot more to me than you know. All right, so this doesn't get red. All right, so that doesn't get red. So we're going to have to figure out how we want to do this. All right, guys, and we are back, and I figured out a way to measure this. Although I don't remember how I did it, but it was painful, but I eventually got it. And the cool thing is, actually, this would be a really good way to measure it. You put this down first, and then you bring up another conveyor, and you just count, right? You can see the little white line, right? See, those are lined up. You go 1, 2, 3, you know, and then you just kind of like check. All right, so this one right here, it does have a white line. You can see right there, the white line is right now is... There we go. Is that lined up? Yeah, that's lined up. So the white line right there is lined up with the smelter. So 1, 2, 3. Now the white line's lined up with the conveyor. There's 3 grid blocks in between the smelter and the conveyor. Now we're going to come over here and do the same thing. All right, lined up. 1, 2, 3. I don't think it was lined up. Hold on. That's lined up. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 3 spots in between. So there you go. A lot of people have been saying in chat, and I agree, we need a way to tell... I want to see the grid. I want to be able to press a button and see the grid. Very important to me. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so let's continue along, man. Phew. Ooh, these freaking games, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here. We're going to see how these two line up. So you know this isn't going to be 3, and it's going to bother me, and I'm going to let it go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 3, 3, 4. So we'll just make this. We'll make sure this one over here is 4. Okay. So then it'll be number 5. Staying alive at number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lined up. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. See, the thing is, guys, it's only going to be painful the first time. Once I figure it out, I know we need stone, but that's got to go. Once we figure it out, it'll be easy from then on. And guess what? You guys won't have to figure it out because I'm going to go through all the pain for you. So there's that. All right. So next thing we do is put that down, and then we put a ramp down. Come on. Give me the ramp. Give me the ramp. There we go. And then we come up here, and then we're going to put down another splitter. Don't really need oh, look at that. It's going on 2 lines. See, that's what happens when you build on the grid, people. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so we're going to go this way. And I mean, according to the game, that should be all lined up. That's too high. Why are you so high? Why are you so high, bro? Okay. So, take that out. I'm going to put a temporary one here. 2 spots. I feel like I'm really starting to lose my mind with this game. I knew this was going to happen, man. This is the way it is with these games. 1, 2. Okay, it's the second one. Is there a third one? I didn't even know there was. Hold on. 1, 2. Oh, yeah, there's a third one. Okay, well, 2 is fine. I thought we were on the third. 1, 2. Okay. We're going to get there, guys. I'm seriously getting a headache. But it's fun. Like someone was saying in chat earlier, it's good because it keeps your brain stimulated, especially for an old fart like me. It's important for old people like me to keep ourselves, you know, mentally stimulated, or, you know, or else we lose brain cells pretty quick. It's just a fact of life. Here we go. Shut up, timer. You're not the boss of me. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to put one of these on each side. I just like these here. Is there any reason to have them there? Nope. Just makes me happy. Actually, that is a reason. Because if you're not playing games to make yourself happy, I don't know what you're doing. There we go. Take this out. Okay. I like it. Oh, I like it. Now we want this in the middle. So, or at least as in the middle as possible. So there's a break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means the third one, or the second one. 1, 2, 3. So we'll put one of these. This is going to be about the middle. All right, let it go. Oh, you know what? I'll put it right there because it lines up with this conveyor. As long as it lines up with something, I can sleep well at night. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. I want a flying option because I want to be able to take screenshots, man. Right? Okay, so, how are we looking? Are we looking at power now? Are we actually looking at power? Are we looking at power, people? Power, people! All right. 3. All right. Now, where do I want to put these power lines? They have to be in specific place. Nah, screw that. I'll do them better later. For now, I'm just going to get stuff powered up. All right. Well, maybe I should put them in. Here we go. Here we go. Can you put these in between conveyor belts? No. No, you cannot. All right. So we can't put it on the end. So I guess they should go right along here. Or I'm just going to put them right along here for now because it's fine. It's fine. Let's pick this up. All right, and don't hold control, Cage. Stop holding control, bro. You'll be so much happier if you don't hold control. Words of wisdom, the most important thing I've learned about this game. All right, so I want to build these separately. Now, how far can that go? Well, it goes conveyor, smelter, conveyor, smelter. And that's on the right of the conveyor. Conveyor, smelter, conveyor, smelter. Let's see if we can put it here. That's going to be too far, right? No. Wow. Okay. Well, that is pretty sweet right there. So it goes... The next one will go right about here. We need to run it out to the that MK1 miner over there as well. Because we had to take the power down because it was going through it was going through the foundations. All right, so how do we want to handle this? Let's go there. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do this to there. This to there. I might change this around later, but for now, you know. How many times did we change stuff around in Factorio, right? I mean, like with your power lines and stuff. Oh, I used to change that stuff all the time. All right, so you need one right here, right where the conveyor is. And then we'll put another one over here next to this conveyor. These videos are all going to end up being like a freaking hour long, damn it. Alright guys, I just went ahead and turned on all the power. Let's go ahead and hook all this stuff up. I'm kind of low on power right now, but that's okay. Let's see how this goes. The copper is going to be the real interesting part of this right now. So that should go out, and that's going to split and go on 2 separate tracks. Again, I want to reiterate, I 100% do not need 2 tracks, but having 2 tracks is going to leave me open to... what it's going to do is it's going to leave me open to the possibility of expansion later. Like I said, I believe, and I could be wrong about this, but I believe 2 MK minor 1s for each track. Okay? And once I get 4, I'm going to want 2 tracks coming in. It'll really bring more ore in. So, wait, did I not use the second one? Oh, I did this differently. Wait, I did this differently than the iron. This is going to come straight through here. So the copper will be different than the iron. Is that okay? I guess it's fine. A lot of this copper won't be used. At least not right now. Maybe I could do this just for the lulz. Can you actually do this? I don't think you can. No, you can't. I could always put a combiner up there if I wanted to. What I'll do is I'll change this up a little bit. Because you see how the iron stops here on the splitter? And then the second iron node, that is the second iron node. The first iron node stops on that splitter. The second iron node stops on this splitter. And copper goes straight through both splitters. So that's going to slow down the copper production a little bit. I could change that. It's not even a hard change. I'll do that off camera though. This video is already going long. Alright, so let's look over here. Come on, copper. Come on, you slow-ass copper. Come on, copper! Come on, copper! Oh, that thing doesn't have any power? Oh, I wonder if my power can't be handled. No, you know what? I never hooked them up. Actually, my power might have a problem because I have a lot of power being used right now. So I'm thinking the amount of power that all that stuff is going to take might be more than these things can handle. Well, no, actually, that one can handle quite a bit more. All right, well, that's not the one we're using, though. But it can be. So what we'll do is we'll take this and we'll hook it up to there. And hopefully this doesn't trip a breaker. Wait, that didn't even up anything. All right, hold on. We gotta see what's going on here. Is that hooked up? Yeah, that's hooked up. I don't know. Maybe these things don't take as much power. No, these aren't on. Well, they're not on because not because they don't have any power. No, they're not. No, I did something wrong. I definitely did something wrong. Let me find it. All right, guys, we're back. All right, so there was 2 mistakes I made. One of these lines on these power lines was going through a power line. Like, I lined them up so perfectly that it was going through them, and I thought it was connected, but it wasn't. So you can see right there, it's 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. All right, so we are banging out some copper ingots. There we go. And what I'll do is I'll just mirror this build down here, all the way down here, and then we'll have copper ingots on a 4 or 5 lane bus. And my brain is really, really sore now. So you know what? It all came out good. I learned a lot today, so I'm very happy about that. But we are going to call this one here. If you end up enjoying the video, please remember to uncage that like button. Also, if you're new here, please subscribe for more daily videos. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. And until then, take it easy. All right, guys. A little bit of post commentary here because I just learned some really important stuff. First of all, there's different kinds of nodes. There's impure, normal, and pure. Okay? Impure gives you 30 pieces of ore per minute. Normal gives you 60, and I'm guessing pure gives you 90, right? Probably. And what someone told me was that these belts transfer 60 per minute, right? And I was like, well, is that written down somewhere? And yeah, it certainly is. If I can show you. Right there, transports up to 60 resources per minute. That is awesome. So there's no more guesswork. I mean, my guesses were right, but there's no more guesswork, and that makes me really, really happy. All right, guys, that's the real end of the video. I'll see you next time.